You are my son. Barka da zuwa. Ina fata kun zo lafiya. Alhaji, today, as one of my daughters. Obinna, I know you are not a Muslim, but take this Quran and prayer beads. Obinna, use them anytime you face any serious problem, anywhere at all. God will answer you. May Almighty Allah bless your union with peace and prosperity. May your home be filled with love. How do you plan to protect Amina's faith?
Because I love Amina, I promise to protect and love everything about her.
While initial blessings and cultural diplomacy had opened the doors for Obinna and Amina, the invisible walls of skepticism still lingered in the quiet corners of both families. A blessing given out of love for one's child is one thing, complete, fierce, and unconditional acceptance of an outsider is another. True acceptance in a Nigerian family is earned not through words, but through fire, integrity, and sacrifice. For Obinna and Amina, the opportunity to cement their place permanently in each other's lineage came through two monumental crises that tested the very fabric of their devotion. The integrity play, How Obinna Guarded Papa Amina's Honor. A year after their traditional ceremonies, Amina's father, Alhaji Al-Hassan, embarked on his lifelong retirement dream, establishing a large-scale mechanized rice processing mill in Kaduna. It was a project designed to empower his community and secure his family's legacy. However, the scale of the project required a massive commercial loan of several hundred million naira. Alhaji applied through a Tier 1 commercial bank in Lagos, the very institution where Obinna was recently promoted to Senior Vice President of Corporate Banking. Out of structural integrity, Alhaji didn't tell Obinna about the application, wanting to secure it strictly on the merit of his business plan. The corporate bottleneck. The application stalled. Behind the scenes, a syndicate of corrupt loan officers and middle managers deliberately created bottlenecks. They recognized the value of the project but wanted to exploit the elderly retired civil servant. Two rogue executives approached Alhaji's proxy with a hidden condition. Tell the Alhaji that Lagos doesn't run on paperwork alone. If he wants this loan approved before the farming season ends,
She is the first daughter of this house.
Thank you for accepting our son. You are now one of us.
Amina is completely breathtaking in her isiagu, a beautiful celebration of culture and style.
Sweetheart, you look totally like an Igbo woman.
Yes, by marriage, I am an Igbo woman.
Today I gave your son my daughter. Please be her father and take care of her. Today Amina is one of us. First as my daughter and secondly as Obinna's wife. Please accord her every respect and love. Obinna, any day Amina, my daughter here, is being mistreated, you have me to contend with, seriously. Amina, my daughter, I plead with you to confide in me or my wife about anything that bothers you.
Alhaji that Lagos doesn't run on paperwork alone. If he wants this loan approved before the farming season ends, he needs to pledge a 10% kickback up front, or the file will stay at the bottom of the credit committee's drawer. Alhaji was devastated. A man of pristine Islamic principles who had spent his career fighting corruption in the civil service, he refused to pay a bribe. He was ready to abandon his dream entirely, his spirit crushed by the system. The intervention. When Amina casually mentioned her father's sudden depression over the weekend, Obinna's financial radar went off. He began a quiet internal audit of the agricultural portfolio on Monday morning. Within 2 hours, he pulled up Alhaji Al-Hassan's file. Obinna saw the pristine collateral, the bulletproof feasibility study, and the malicious manufactured delays. He instantly understood what was happening. Obinna didn't just root the file, he took absolute command of it. 1. The boardroom confrontation. He bypassed the rogue branch officers entirely and brought the file directly to the Executive Management Credit Committee, presenting it as a high-yield, low-risk, sovereign-grade agricultural investment. 2. Eliminating the rot. He quietly initiated an internal disciplinary review against the officers who had demanded the percentage, protecting his father-in-law's name from ever being stained. 3. The clean delivery. Within 72 hours, the loan was approved at a competitive single-digit interest rate, completely free of any illegal charges or kickbacks. When Al-Haji received the official credit offer letter directly from the bank's headquarters, he called his proxy in confusion.
Theoretical planning finally faced its ultimate trial: the parents. Presenting a partner from a different tribe and religion is akin to defending a thesis before a...
Baba, this is Obinna.
Obinna.
You are very welcome, my son. Our father would have been so proud of you.
Thank you for accepting our son.
Thank you for accepting our son.
By putting ourselves in positions where we felt
Culturally vulnerable before the wedding, we stripped away the shock value. We oiled the gears before the machinery was put under real pressure.
Letter directly from the bank's headquarters, he called his proxy in confusion, asking who had finally paid the corrupt officials. The proxy replied, "Sir, nobody paid a dime. Your son-in-law, Obinna, discovered the mischief, cleared the desk, and authorized it himself based purely on your clean record." Al-Haji Al-Hassan sat down and wept. He called Obinna that night, his voice trembling with a mixture of pride and profound respect. "Obinna," the old patriarch said, dropping the formal titles, "many men come to take a daughter away. But you stood at the gate of my honor and defended it when I was helpless. You are no longer just my daughter's husband. You are my son." The Healing Sanctuary, Amina's 6-month devotion. While Obinna was fighting a financial battle for the Al-Hassan family in Lagos, a medical crisis was brewing in the east. Obinna's mother, Mama Obinna, was rapidly deteriorating in Enugu. Years of managing a bustling household and the grief of losing her husband had taken a toll. She was suffering from a debilitating triad of chronic conditions: uncontrolled hypertension, high blood pressure, severe osteoarthritis in both knees, and dangerously high blood sugar levels, type 2 diabetes. She could barely walk, her vision was blurring from the sugar spikes, and local clinics were simply pumping her with painkillers that were damaging her kidneys. When Obinna traveled to Enugu and saw his fierce, vibrant mother confined to a wheelchair, helpless and in constant pain, he was heartbroken. Amina took one look at her mother-in-law's medical charts and made an executive decision. "We are bringing Mama to Lagos," she told Obinna. "Hospital wards will depress her. I will treat her myself at home." The intensive care regimen. For 6 grueling months, Amina transformed a guest room in their Lagos apartment into a specialized, loving rehabilitation sanctuary. Despite her own exhausting shifts at St. Nicholas Hospital, Amina took absolute charge of Mama Obinna's recovery.
We must learn to bridge our differences.
Love is about understanding.
Love is about understanding, not just tolerance.
True love knows no boundaries of tribe or background. Look for a partner who shares your values.
They turned a private romance into a powerful cultural milestone. They showed a watching nation that when
We called it our operational dry run.
to flush out friction before saying I do.
The test wasn't about trying to blend our prayers. It created a beautiful cadence of respect.
It is not just a ring, Amina. It is a laboratory, beta test. From extended family financial requirements, we examined the machinery of our differences and
Were simply pumping her with painkillers that were damaging her kidneys. When Obinna traveled to Enugu and saw his fierce, vibrant mother confined to a wheelchair, helpless and in constant pain, he was heartbroken. Amina took one look at her mother-in-law's medical charts and made an executive decision. "We are bringing Mama to Lagos," she told Obinna. "Hospital wards will depress her. I will treat her myself at home." The intensive care regimen. For 6 grueling months, Amina transformed a guest room in their Lagos apartment into a specialized, loving rehabilitation sanctuary. Despite her own exhausting shifts at St. Nicholas Hospital, Amina took absolute charge of Mama Obinna's recovery. Disease area: Amina's targeted intervention. High blood sugar: Amina strictly overhauled Mama's diet. She banned processed carbs and engineered a menu of low-glycemic local foods, unripe plantain, specialized vegetable soups, and grain alternatives, personally monitoring her glucose levels 4 times a day. Hypertension: she stripped Mama off conflicting medications, streamlining her cardiovascular treatment with modern beta blockers and ensuring a zero-sodium, heart-healthy lifestyle. Severe arthritis: Amina hired a private physiotherapist but personally supervised daily, low-impact hydrotherapy and joint mobility exercises, gently massaging Mama's swollen knees with therapeutic oils every night. The turning point: the sacrifice was immense. There were nights Amina would return from a 24-hour hospital call, and instead of sleeping, she would sit by Mama Obinna's bedside, changing cold compresses, managing her diabetic neuropathy pains, and speaking to her in a gentle mix of English and broken Igbo words she had consciously memorized. Initially, Obinna's aunts in the village phoned constantly, suspicious that an outsider wife would neglect their matriarch. But Mama Obinna shut down the gossip herself. By the 4th month, Mama's
Find a good partner, no matter where they come from.
Our marriage must become a bridge for national unity.
True love knows no boundaries of tribe or background. Look for a partner who shares your values.
Obinna, people will tell you this is a risk, but the best portfolios are diversified. The Nigeria of tomorrow bridge builders. If you love this woman, protect her and run your home like a sovereign.
In this hospital, we don't check a patient's tribe or religion before saving their life. Blood is red, hearts beat the same way.
Our marriage is a proof that unity is possible.
Peace begins when we look beyond our differences.
Mama Obinna shut down the gossip herself. By the 4th month, Mama's blood sugar had stabilized to normal parameters. Her blood pressure read like that of a 40-year-old. By the 6th month, through sheer medical persistence and emotional warmth, Mama Obinna stood up from her wheelchair, discarded her walking stick, and walked down the hallway unaided to join the family at the dinner table. Amina placed Obinna's mother on the following treatment program. Month 1. Wheelchair-bound, high sugar, chronic pain, also with Amina's 24/7 medical and dietary care plan. Month 3. Blood pressure stabilizes, joint inflammation drops also, daily physical therapy and customized nutrition. Month 6. Fully ambulatory, medication reduced, thriving. Looking at Amina, who was setting the table, Mama Obinna gathered her daughter-in-law into a fierce, tearful embrace. She stripped off her own heavy ancestral gold wrist bangles, an heirloom reserved only for the most treasured women in the Okafor lineage, and slid them onto Amina's wrists. If an Igbo girl had treated me this way, they would say it is because of my son's money, Mama Obinna announced to the entire extended family over a video call. But this daughter of mine from Kaduna gave me her sleep, her medical knowledge, and her own blood to put me back on my feet. Let nobody in this family ever refer to Amina as an in-law. She is the first daughter of this house. A covenant beyond tribes. The transformation was absolute. The two families were no longer just loosely connected through a marriage certificate, they were bound by an unbreakable covenant of life-saving deeds. When Obinna and Amina hosted an anniversary dinner later that year, the seating arrangement was no longer divided by East and North, or Christian and Muslim. Al-Haji Al-Hassan sat next to Mama Obinna, trading stories of their youth, united by the profound realization that their children had crossed the cultural divide not to compromise, but to elevate, protect, and heal both of their houses.
Love is the universal language that unites us all. How do you plan to protect Amina's faith?
Because I love Amina, I promise to protect and love everything about her.
Barka da zuwa. Ina fata kun zo lafiya.
If Lagos had ever seen a wedding that stopped traffic, commanded the headlines, and completely redefined the concept of an Owambe, it was the union of Obinna and Amina. For a city that thrives on celebration, this wasn't just another high society event. It was a masterclass in national unity. Over the course of one unforgettable week, the couple transformed the architectural, religious, and cultural spaces of Lagos into a vibrant canvas of mutual respect, where the ancient traditions of the Igbo East and the Hausa North beautifully dissolved into love. Part 1. The Legal Anchor, the Court Wedding. 2 days before they walked down the aisle of the church, Obinna and Amina stood inside a sunlit registry in Lagos to seal their union under the law. It was a deliberate strategy, a quiet, intimate prelude to the grand symphony that was to follow. Amina wore a pristine, tailored white jumpsuit with a subtle, floor-length cape that hinted at her signature modesty, her hair crowned with a silk white hijab. Obinna was the definition of corporate elegance in a bespoke, charcoal-gray, double-breasted suit. With only their parents, siblings, and closest friends present, they signed the registry. It was a moment stripped of loud music and massive crowds, just two people deeply in love, setting the legal foundation for their future when the registrar declared them husband and wife. Alhaji Al-Hassan and Mama Obinna stood side by side, their applause echoing in the room, proving that the family lines had already begun to blur. Part 2. The Spiritual Canopy, St. Andrew's Catholic Church, Victoria Island. Saturday morning arrived with the crisp, salty breeze of the Atlantic sweeping through Victoria Island. Outside St. Andrew's Catholic Church, the scene was spectacular. The parking lot looked like a diplomatic convention. One side of the aisle was a sea of rich, heavily embroidered northern rigas, structural fulanis, and elegant abayas. The other side was a brilliant wave of Eastern George fabrics, coral beads, and towering gel head ties. The entrance of the bride. When the heavy doors of St. Andrew's opened, a collective gasp rippled through the congregation. Amina walked down the aisle on her brother Farouk's arm. Her bridal gown was a custom masterpiece. A high neckline, long sleeve.
Our love shows that peace is possible.
We must build bridges across our different.
Find a good partner, no matter where they come from.
Our marriage must become a bridge for national unity.
True love knows no boundaries of tribe or tongue. Look for character, not where they come from.
Custom masterpiece. A high neckline, long-sleeved Victorian lace gown adapted to respect her Islamic values, trailing a 15-foot silk train. Obinna stood at the altar, blinking back tears. Beside him, his best man handed him a tissue as the choir's operatic harmonies filled the vaulted ceilings of the church. To see a traditional Hausa family filling the front pews of a Catholic church, bowing their heads in deep, respectful silence during the liturgy, was the most beautiful thing I have ever witnessed, a guest later shared. There was no us versus them. There was only family. The parish priest, matching the energy of the day, delivered a homily centered on love as a universal language. When it came time for the sign of peace, the walls crumbled entirely. Alhaji Al-Hassan reached across the aisle to hug Mama Obinna, an image that was captured by a dozen cameras and instantly went viral online. Part 3. The Grand Gala, Sheraton Hotel, Lagos. If the church ceremony was a testament to spiritual reverence, the reception at the grand ballroom of the Sheraton Hotel was an explosion of cultural ecstasy. The ballroom had been converted into an enchanted garden, utilizing a color palette of royal gold, deep emerald green, honoring Amina's northern roots, and rich ivory. The couple orchestrated a feast that celebrated their variations through 3 distinct segments, marked by spectacular outfit changes and choreographed entrances. The 3 acts of the confluence segment, the aesthetic and attire. The culinary highlight, the soundscape act. 1. the contemporary entry Obinna in a white tuxedo jacket, Amina in her breathtaking modest reception gown, premium Lagos party jollof, grilled tiger prawns and croaker fish, soft Afro beats, live saxophone melodies, and orchestral pop. Act 2, Northern Royalty, The Commune, Amina in deep purple Hausa silk with intricate gold henna, Obinna in a matching sky blue baban riga, Mian taushe, pumpkin soup, masa, and tenderly grilled suya directly from a live station.
Our marriage is a proof that unity is possible.
Peace begins when we look beyond our different differences. In this hospital, we don't check a patient's tribe or religion before saving their life. Blood is red, hearts beat the same way.
Obinna, people will tell you this is a risk. It belongs to the bridge builders. If you love this woman, protect her. Run your home like a sovereign state.
White tuxedo jacket, Amina in her breathtaking modest reception gown, premium Lagos party jollof, grilled tiger prawns and croaker fish, soft Afro beats, live saxophone melodies, and orchestral pop. Act 2, Northern Royalty, The Commune, Amina in deep purple Hausa silk with intricate gold henna, Obinna in a matching sky blue baban riga, Mian taushe, pumpkin soup, masa, and tenderly grilled suya directly from a live station, hypnotic rhythmic traditional northern goge music and calabash drums. Act 3, Eastern Majesty, The Igba Nkwu, Obinna in custom Igbo isiagu and heavy coral beads, Amina wrapped in premium George fabric with a matching fan, ofe nsala, white soup, pounded yam, and spicy abacha, African salad. High-energy Eastern highlife, flavors hits, and the thumping bass of traditional Igbo instrumentation. The Dance of Acceptance. The true climax of the night occurred during the third entry, as the DJ dropped a legendary Igbo highlife track. Obinna's cousins surrounded Amina, teaching her the intricate rhythmic footwork of Eastern dance. Amina, a natural dancer, caught the rhythm instantly, moving her hips gracefully as Mama Obinna showered her with pristine, crisp Naira notes. Not to be outdone, Obinna took to the floor when the music switched to a popular northern melody. Guided by Amina's brothers, he raised his hands in the dignified, measured movements of the Hausa elite, causing Alhaji Al-Hassan to laugh out loud, stand up from the high table, and join his son-in-law on the dance floor. The legacy of the night. As the night drew to a close under the glittering chandeliers of the Sheraton, the couple stood on the stage, looking out at a ballroom where tribes had completely harmonized. Northern Alhajis were busy swapping business contacts with Eastern entrepreneurs over plates of ofe nsala, and young medical colleagues of Amina were dancing alongside Obinna's investment banking peers. Obinna and Amina had done the impossible. They hadn't just thrown a lavish wedding. They had built a living, breathing monument to what Nigeria could be when love, intentionality, and radical acceptance lead the way.